Man, October has not disappointed at all. So much to get into today, so little time. I'm going to do the best that I can. Whew, I love sports. All right, so before I even get into the NBA and Thursday Night Football, just a very, very brief synopsis of MLB so far. All right, so we're in the NLCS and the ALCS. Basically, the final four teams left. Phillies, Padres. They're squared away 1-1 right now. Phillies won game one. Padres won yesterday 8-5, 5 runs in the fifth inning to help seal that deal. Astros with Justin Verlander, future Hall of Fame pitcher, takes care of business at home against the Yankees. They're up 1-0 after winning 4-2. But man, NBA is back. Some of these rookies, some of these results, actually pretty impressive. Actually pretty darn impressive, man. Like, for instance, I did not expect my Bulls to win last night at all. Zach LaVine, we just signed this man to a $10 million contract. Told the press all training camp that he was 100%. Knee is not an issue. And what does he do? Not play because of a knee. Precautionary. So it sounds like load management out the gate. Like, who does that after signing a $210 million contract to have load management in the first game of the year? The very first game. But I guess, no LaVine, no problem, because Debo, a.k.a. DeMar DeRozan, dropped 37 in Miami in South Beach. I did not expect us to win this game. For one, it's Miami Heat, who was the number one seed last year. Two, we're playing in South Beach. Three, we don't have Zach LaVine. Of course, Lonzo Ball is not going to be around for the foreseeable future. But nevertheless, yeah, Bulls came in, rocked out. I think DeRozan had 16 or 18 in the third quarter alone. But yeah, they go to South Beach, take care of business, 116-108. Bulls start out the season 1-0. Now, I was watching some of this Magic and Pistons game yesterday, because right now on Sling, I guess you got a free preview of NBA League Pass. My friend reminded me of that, so yeah, I was surfing yesterday for sure. Pistons ended up winning 113-109, but all three rookies in this game, all three notable rookies rather, was definitely impressive. Let's start with Paolo Banchero, who put up a stat line that nobody hasn't done in their first game since LeBron, which was 27 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists in his NBA debut. 11 of 18 from the field, including a posterizing dunk over a defender. It was, it was ferocious. That lets me know this man is coming to play. He actually looks like he has a killer instinct. So, and this is only the first game. I'm very excited to see what his future brings. And then on the side, you got Jaden Ivey from Purdue, Boiler up. He dropped 19, 8 of 15 shooting, 2 of 4 from behind the arc, 4 assists, 3 boards. And then you got Jalen Duren, who they also got in the lottery. He was 14 and 10, double off the bench in 22 minutes. So Pistons ended up winning. That was a pretty entertaining game. Another game that I definitely checked out yesterday was the Pelicans and the Nets. Zion's game, his first game back in 500 some days. But nevertheless, watching the Pelicans play was so fun. They are a very fun team, a very unselfish team, active, energized, play for one another. And looking at this Pelicans team, from the last time Zion was on the court to now, it's completely night and day. Because last time C.J. McCollum wasn't, on the team. Last time Zion was on the court. Herbert Davis, he wasn't on the team. In fact, Willie Green wasn't even the coach at the time. So dynamics changed. You've seen Brandon Ingram, blossom, and it's actually been very satisfying watching Brandon Ingram grow over the years. Being a young prospect coming out of Duke, pretty sure the number 2 pick overall to the Lakers back then. His draft comparison was Kevin Durant, and just to see him put on the show yesterday, dropping 28, he was giving Kevin Durant fits. It was pretty darn good. Just to see all those guys do their thing. Brandon Ingram had 28. Zion, first game back, 25 points, 9 boards, 11 of 22 from the field. C.J. McCollum also got you 21. So, they combined for 74 points out the 3 right there. Man, like I said, Pelicans, very active. Really, really good defensive team as well. And the fact that they dropped 130 on Brooklyn, in Brooklyn, it's pretty impressive. Ben Simmons, he fouled out, but he definitely had a tall task trying to guard Zion Williamson, who got him in foul trouble basically every time. But the few splash plays I did see of Ben Simmons out there, I think this is going to be a really good fit for Brooklyn by far. I can definitely tell you that much. Another game that I briefly saw, the Hawks and the Rockets here. DeJounte Murray, seamless fit for Atlanta there. Matter of fact, I believe that, so apparently Trae Young and DeJounte Murray is the first duo ever in their debut playing together to both have 10-plus assists. Trae Young had 13 assists to go with 23 points. DeJounte Murray had 11 assists to go with 20 points. DeAndre Hunter had 22. Collins had 24. So they balled out. They ended up winning 117-107. All in all, it was, pretty good basketball here. Even the Grizzlies and Knicks, that game went in overtime. John Morant's on a mission. John Morant, I heard in an interview hours before the game. He said 2 things. One, he wanted to win MVP. And I believe he's going to be on that whole mission the whole season. Because the man dropped 34 points last night. The second thing is, he said he wanted to dunk on LeBron. So, hey, I would love to see him try. And if he succeeds, by all means, that's going to be played all around the world. So, that'll be pretty cool. Just other really quick notes here. So the Wizards ended up beating the Pacers 114-107, but prior to the game, Miles Turner was supposed to play, but apparently he hurt his ankle on a ball boy prior to the game and didn't play. Hey, so I guess things happen, but yikes. Raptors ended up beating the Cavs 108-105. Timberwolves with the newly acquired Stifle Tower, also known as Rudy Gobert. He comes in with a big game, 23 points, 16 boards. So, already more productive with his new team without Donovan Mitchell, apparently. Hornets without LaMelo Ball because he's out with an ankle injury as well. They end up winning 129-102 against the Spurs. Spurs is in that tank mode, trying to get Victor Wembanyama. There's a whole, collection of teams trying to do so. I would think the Jazz would be one of them, but they ended up, blowing out the Nuggets 123-102 yesterday. Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr., they're back, but, it takes some time. Suns, Mavs, first game of the season. Last time we saw these two teams match up, Luka and the Mavs blew them out of the water in Game 7 of the Western Semi-Conference Finals. So, yeah. So, Suns ended up winning 107-105. Blazers beat the Kings 115-108. Man. But, real quick. So, just real quick hot topic about my Bulls. Just so happened to be. So yesterday a graphic came out from Lids, and it was from this past off season. Basically, top selling gear, top selling NBA gear, and it has a map and from each state, which one is the top gear for each state. So apparently, like the Bulls is, of course, will be Illinois, and it's in Indiana. Like okay, Iowa, all right, Missouri, Kentucky, surrounding states, that's fine, but shoot, you got Bulls gear out in it's the top selling stuff in Montana, the Dakotas, Nebraska, Kansas, Texas, Florida, Mississippi, Alabama, Virginia, the Carolinas. Basically, in a nutshell, the Bulls has the top selling gear from Lids in this offseason by far. It's not even close. The Lakers have Cali. The Lakers have New York. But, and the Supersonics, who don't even exist, is still in Washington. But yeah, needless to say, the conversation I was having yesterday is like, look, it comes down to two things. One, the Bulls colors of, black, red, and white is very classic. Very classic. So, Lids, which is a hat store, there's a lot of people that like wearing those colors on their hats. And so I've had, plenty of friends that used to buy a lot of hats from Lids. And so unconsciously they would buy, maybe a 4 or 5 different Bulls hats just because of the way the colors is. And then, maybe one hat from each other team just based on the colors. And either of these two are really like diehard Bulls fans either. They just, did it unconsciously. The other thing is, of course, the influence of Michael Jordan is still active in Bulls wear. So it is what it is. But yeah, I just, found that pretty interesting that Bulls gear from Lids is a hot commodity, not only where I'm at, but apparently in over 50 to 60% of the country. That's wild to me. All right, so NFL, there's a couple things I definitely want to touch on before we even get into Thursday Night Football. Pretty sure I haven't mentioned this, but so the Commanders owner, Daniel Snyder, so in a nutshell, the other owners are ready to kick him out of ownership of his team. There's a laundry list of things, and I know before I've mentioned a couple things, but so the Colts owner Jim Irsay said the other day there is merit to vote him out, but Daniel Snyder has also gathered dirt on many owners, probably hired a private investigator a while ago, and basically said okay, if you gonna, kick me out of here, I'm exposing everybody. If I'm going down, we all going down. And at this point, I feel like one of one of those gifts with the popcorn. I'm just, grabbing a bucket and just sitting back and watch. Cause look, between the Texans and the Commanders, those are the two worst franchises ran in the NFL to me. So yeah, I don't condone anything related to Daniel Snyder, but I also know for a fact that a lot of these other owners are probably on the same BS as he is. They just haven't been caught. So I'm curious to see exactly what unfolds here. So yeah, if he got receipts, oh yeah, please show. We want to know. We the people want to know how corrupt this $1 billion industry is. That shows a lot of, double standards, a lot of inconsistencies when it comes to disciplining players in certain instances. That, has an image issue. So, that's why they've been consulting with Jay-Z for the past few years. For a league that is bringing in all this money, it definitely comes with a lot of turmoil. So I feel like this is one of those instances. This here is going to get worse before it gets better for overall change. So yeah, Dane Snyder, by all means, let us know what you have. I want to know what you have. I want to know how bad it really is. I do. So that way we can expose everything and then get all the corruption out as much as possible and, clean stuff up and have a better league going forward. That's just me. But I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one that feels that way. Yeah. All right. And then one other thing, lastly, before we get into Thursday Night Football, Tua spoke with the media for the first time, since that gruesome concussion situation on Thursday Night Football about 3 weeks ago. So, yeah, he basically said he lost consciousness after being hit. I guess talked about how impactful and scary it was for him. I get it. He's supposed to play this Sunday. A lot of professionals are begging him not to and basically stop playing football, but this is honestly up to him. I just hope the team and NFL does a better job of protecting him from himself and other players from themselves. But I can say that it seems like ever since then, they're definitely very cautious with this concussion protocol situation. So, like for instance, Naheem Hines, he got knocked out of Thursday Night Football a couple weeks ago after the first play of the game. Concussion protocol, they didn't even risk it. Like, no, you're done. In other instances like that, like Teddy Bridgewater a couple weeks ago, when he started first game after Tua, and I think on the first play of the game, concussion protocol, he was done. So yeah, I guess they're trying to, clean up that part of the mess too. So yeah, back to Daniel Snyder. Yeah, whatever receipts you got, please let us know. I'm getting my popcorn and snacks ready. If there's any, previews, I like previews at the movies. I do. So I sit through that too. So yeah, I'm ready. All right. So Thursday Night Football. We got the New Orleans Saints and the Arizona Cardinals in Phoenix tonight, 7:15 Central Time on Amazon Prime. So as far as the Saints, they are banged up. So there's no Michael Thomas again. There's no Jarvis Landry. There's no Marshawn Lattimore. Chris Olave is playing, so that's a plus. But the quarterback situation is a game-time decision. It says it's likely going to be Andy Dalton, but it could be Jameis Winston. Who knows? But either way, both teams come in 2-4. But at least for the Cardinals' sake, hey, they get DeAndre Hopkins back. He's back. And this would be a perfect opportunity to insert the Cam Newton "I'm back" little meme here. But anyway, so DeAndre Hopkins is back from suspension. Kyler Murray desperately needs that man, especially with Hollywood Brown, who hurt his foot last week, who initially was expected to be out for the rest of the year, but now is a 4 to 6 window timetable for his return. They traded for Robbie Anderson after that whole situation. So, and then James Conner, I don't know if he's playing tonight. So Kyler Murray is possibly looking at DeAndre Hopkins, Robbie Anderson, who I guess that's so new. I don't know if he does play. I don't know how many snaps. Zach Ertz, AJ Green, Rondale Moore, Benjamin if he plays. But either way, I just know Kyler Murray with and without DeAndre Hopkins, their offense is completely different. And this time it's actually going to be for the better. And the fact that Lattimore's out, who is a top 10, top 5 corner in the league, he's not playing. New Orleans secondary can definitely be had. Shoot, ask Cincinnati how they did last week. So, that being said, I definitely do like the Cardinals to win tonight. Spread is 2.5. If it moves to 3, I'll take the Cardinals. If it moves to 3, I'll take the Cardinals. Saints, they average 23.5 points a game. Cardinals 19. But also the Saints allow 26 points a game. Cardinals roughly 24. Passing is about the same. Saints 246, 247. Cardinals 246. Saints can run the ball better. I think that's a combination between Kamara, Ingram, and Taysom Hill. They are 150 a game. Cardinals are 119. Saints allowed 359 yards. Allowed. Cardinals 353. So, for the most part, it's pretty similar except for the running part. Saints have the edge there. Yeah, and over-under is 44 in this game. I mean, I can see that. So, yeah, I definitely like the Cardinals to win tonight. I think the Cardinals actually win in good fashion. But as far as that spread, if it goes to 3, I feel a lot better than 2.5. Just saying. So yeah. So yeah, I think that's about it for today. I appreciate you rocking with me here on No Offense Radio, No Offense Network. Check me out this Saturday with the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast with my bros Brandon and Ian as we break down this week in sports, including Chicago sports. And then Sunday, Destination Fantasy Podcast with my bros Deshaun and Walter. Fantasy football oriented. So until then, you all have a great one. Peace.